Over the past 3 decades, remixing has become a very prominent part of the music we listen to today. It's pretty much everywhere on Billboard, especially in the last couple of years.
And I can put you in.
But have you ever wondered how major artists and producers are able to cash in big while continuing to sample, even after dealing with losses due to legal copyright issues? Let's explore the wins, losses, as well as the different type of remixing and how artists and producers can win big using one fundamental business concept called a loss leader. Chapter 1. Everything's a remix. It's said that there is nothing new under the sun. It's written in the Bible itself. How does this apply to music? Well, a lot of records come from 2 forms of music remixing, called sampling and interpolation. Sampling is a technique of digitally encoding music or sound and reusing it as a part of a composition or recording. If you're not familiar with sampling, maybe you've heard this song.
I can tell you got beat energy.
Sampling isn't only exclusive to music. Many directors sample in their movies.
I loved the Akira slide too.
I got to do it, man.
So good.
Most notably known for this is Quentin Tarantino. The second form of music remixing is called interpolation. In pop music, interpolation is also called replaying the sample and using the melody or portions of the melody for the new song. Interpolation is often used when the artist or the label who owns the piece of music declines to license the sample, or if licensing the piece of music is considered too costly.
The replay, unfortunately with samples, there is a risk sometimes that the people that own the sample can be difficult, and they either want too much money for you to clear the sample, or they just don't want you to use it, period. This is more of a case I think of, financially, they wanted ridiculous terms, to use the master. So I get in that situation, I call G Coop. He's one of the best in the world at reinterpreting the sound and getting whatever it is that they did on that record.
Is this inspired by Olivia Newton-John, Let's Get Physical?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
That's overt,
yes,
on purpose.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I was in the studio like, let's get physical. But the thing is, I was humming that and I didn't realize I was humming that song. And then I was like, that sounds like this.
When a song is made, there is 100% ownership split between the songwriters and the publishers. Although many artists are turned off from sampling due to unfavorable terms on the song ownership, remixing has birthed many artists' careers. Chapter 2. You win some, you lose some. Now that we know the core fundamentals of sampling and interpolation, we could talk about the wins and the losses. This is called a loss leader. I'm going to use an example of a famous store we've probably all been to before, Costco. Costco is notoriously known for having cheap chicken at the price of $4.99 and the infamous hot dog combo for $1.50. The price hasn't changed since 1985, and when it almost changed, founder Jim Senegal said, "If you raise the effing price of the hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." Costco actually loses a ton of money by selling the chicken and the hot dog combo at a low cost, but they make far more money because the product brings in customers to spend more money on their items in the store. Costco actually loses $40 million a year, but they make billions in profit. In short, a loss leader is a product sold at a loss to attract customers. Now, how does this apply to the music industry? Well, I'll give you 2 examples of major artists that have 2 of their biggest songs as loss leaders. Let's start with the infamous case of Juice WRLD's record, Lucid Dreams. Originally released on SoundCloud on May 4th, 2018, Juice WRLD was an up-and-coming artist in Chicago that hadn't got his big break yet. Lucid Dreams was his first major big hit. Although the song would catapult Juice to stardom and allow him to ink a $3 million record deal, the record would get hit with a major copyright issue from the artist Sting. Lucid Dreams shares the same melody as Sting's Shape of My Heart.
When I was making the song, actually the original sample, Sting, Shape of My Heart, I was watching a movie, The Professional, Leon the Professional. It was an outro song. I heard it. I thought it was crazy. I had to flip it into my own beat. That's when I heard it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much where I got the sample from.
Sting's record, Shape of My Heart, has been sampled many times by various artists, but Lucid Dreams was the most successful. Even though Juice's record was a hit nationwide, it wasn't cleared, which resulted in Sting taking 85% of the record's revenue, leaving Juice WRLD with 15%. Even though the record went diamond and is still Juice WRLD's most successful song, he took a big loss but gained an even bigger win. You see, the record was so big that it allowed Juice WRLD to have a career and spotlight all his other songs he had been creating, like All Girls Are the Same and his debut album, Goodbye and Good Riddance. Juice WRLD's work ethic to stay in the studio and create countless songs allowed him to keep that fan base and become one of the biggest names in music until his untimely passing. Much like Juice, a star in the making named Olivia Rodrigo shares a similar story, but in the pop genre. Olivia Rodrigo's big smash, Good For You, was released on May 14th, 2021. The song would dominate radio, streaming, and go #1 on Billboard. Though the song was a massive hit everywhere, two songwriters from a very prominent alternative rock band felt it was very similar to one of their biggest records, called Misery Business. That band's name is Paramore. Hayley Williams and Josh Farrell argue that the song's structure, cadence, melody, drops, and chorus perfectly align with their song, Misery Business, and is the main inspiration and foundation for Olivia Rodrigo's song, Good For You. The case was so strong that they later were credited as writers and took 50% of the record's royalties. Although Olivia lost half of the record, she still receives revenue and was able to win big at the Grammys while becoming a household name. Both artists share the harsh realities of the music business, but not all is a loss. Both were able to build their brands off the serious momentum of the records, which allowed them to cash in big on merch, brand deals, sponsorships, and the main bread and butter, festivals and touring, something that legend T-Pain welcomes with open arms.
When that person goes on the road and they're getting $60,000 a night, that's all their money. The label don't get that money because they didn't put in for that. They didn't fucking do anything to promote the show. They didn't help that man get on the road. They didn't help that girl get on the road. You know, even with like, when it comes to like stuff like when I like sample a song and then, you know, we go to clear the sample or something like that. And then they're like, we want 70% of the song. I'm like, all right, cool, take it. You can have 100% of the fucking song. I don't give a shit. Because you know why? This song's gonna be so big, I'm gonna be on the road for the next 2 years getting $60,000 a night. You're gonna be waiting on royalty checks, which is probably gonna be about $13 a month. Fuck do I give a fuck if you take it? I don't give a shit how much of the percentage, and most of that money that's coming from where you're getting your percentage from is going back to the label anyways. I don't give a fuck about that.
Chapter 3, Chess Not Checkers. Now, it's no secret that the music business is full of sharks and good people, but while there are some drawbacks to sampling and interpolation, many producers and companies have found their own path to providing an equal playing field for everyone to win.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows. I've been on the road.
There has been proven successful careers that are decades in with their legacy and their financial freedom cemented, all because of the use of a loss leader. When an artist understands how to use a loss leader, they could use it to their advantage. A most recent example of this is Beyonce with her newest album, Renaissance, Kanye with Donda, and Russ with his success in the music industry. While Beyonce and Kanye have multiple samples and writers on their songs to execute their vision, they understand the importance of maintaining the brand and spending money on not only what fulfills them most, but what gives them what their fans want. Russ, who while on the come up released songs consistently to build his brand by creating volume with his song releases, proved that catalog is the name of the game. Though he was not always cashing in on every song he uploaded, he was able to build a worldwide fan base and gain leverage to partner up with a record label and have an equal share on all things in his deals. Historically, something many artists are not afforded. Russ still preaches this message to artists till this day, and with the signing of his newest artist, La Russell, who also followed the same formula, I believe it won't be long until he gains the same results as well. In this world of remixing, loss leaders are inevitable, but how you use them is how you too can win big. So that's the end of the video and another episode of the Framework series down. If you've never heard of the Framework series or this is your first time watching a video essay, basically I create these very short, like 2 to 3 minute video essays, and I put them on TikTok and Instagram as well as my YouTube channel. Think of them like mini music documentaries, but they cover specific topics that I feel like other people don't talk about. I knew this topic could help like music creators as well as like entertain like Twitter lawyers, you know? And when I told Splice about this video, they were like super excited for me to share it with you guys. Like I said, I do a lot of these videos on social and on YouTube, so definitely give me a follow. I feel like you guys would love the Kanye and Future episode, as well as the Rihanna episode, because those are amazing. I also did a Jay Dilla episode, and it's on this channel, so definitely go check that out. So I hope this video resonated with you and showed you a new perspective. Oh, and also upon like editing this video, I found this article from Denisha Kalor. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but she goes really in-depth about lost leaders in music. And she also gives a different perspective on some things that I didn't touch. So if you guys want to go read that, I'll have Splice link it down in the description. It's actually a very quick read. This video was actually scored in FL Studio 20 using Splice samples. The background music that you heard looping over are samples from Splice, so definitely go sign up for Splice today using the link down below. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, you can still win big even if you lose. You just got to know how to use that to your advantage. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you guys next time.